Okay, so very good afternoon to all. Okay, I welcome you all. This is another lecture of our subject industrial hydraulics and pneumatic. Okay, in the last lecture, we have discussed about hydraulic motors. Okay, we have gone for the classification. Then one by one, we have seen that working principle and the construction of the all types of the hydraulic motor. In that, we have seen gear motor, then it's all type it's construction working. Then when we have gone for the vane motor, then piston type of motor, getting it. And at last in the yesterday's lecture, we have discussed the cushioning effect, or you can call it as a cylinder with a cushioning. Okay, now today we'll move for the last point of our first chapter, that is the seals and packing. Okay, hydraulic seals and packing. Okay, so why this, or what is the need of seal? It's a answer first we will discuss. Okay, because why we need to go for this, or why we need to implement or the apply these seals in the hydraulic system, that question is very important. Okay, as we know that in our hydraulic system, that leakage is there. Okay, leakage may occur. Why that leakage occur? Because as all the components are connected each other in the hydraulic system, and our working fluid is the oil, getting it. So leakage in this hydraulic system, that can be a major problem in the hydraulic system. And due to that leakage, it may lead to the loss of efficiency. Okay, due to the leakage, that system's efficiency may loss. Then it may increase the power uses, getting it. Then it may rise the temperature. Okay, then again due to that leakage, environmental damage will happen, getting it. And sometime due to leakage, there may be the possibility of safety hazards, getting it. So we need to control the leakage in the hydraulic system. Due to that only, the seals, usage of the seals, or the application of the seals, or implementation of the seals and packing, that is very important. Again, as if you see, minor internal leakage are happening, or it is observed, minor leakage. Okay, minor leakage, it is observed near or around the piston in double acting cylinder. Okay, in double acting cylinder. Okay, cylinder means what? It is a hydraulic actuator, getting it. So in that double acting cylinder around the piston, many times minor leakage occurring. Okay, or that due to that minor internal leakage, it can be a it will, or it is happening consequently. Okay, and it may be even due to that leakage. Okay, it may introduce uh, to rise the temperature, or it may decrease the, or it may reduce the efficiency, getting of that loss of that efficiency of that component, getting it. So we need to provide some lubricating part in that system. Okay, so we need to provide lubricating part of a moving of that moving part. Okay, okay, but here we need to take care is that we, when we are going to introduce some lubricating part, no, that time it may increasing the clearance. Okay, and that may result in the pressure drop, and due to that pressure drop, your work often, or whatever the work is going to produce, no, that may slow down. Okay, so that here also we need to take, okay, into the consideration while giving in the system, getting it. And obviously what are the internal leakages there, no, so that does not leads to the fluid loss. Okay, because that what are the leak fluid which is going to outside the your system. Okay, or which is going to exit from your actuator, it is going to come inside that reservoir only. So there is a no chance to fluid loss or other thing. Okay, because eventually that fluid is going to return to the reservoir, but due to the leakage, other that efficiency loss or temperature increment, okay, that other parameters or other situations is there not that we need to control or that we need to avoid. Okay, this was about the I was talking about the internal minor leakage. Along with that, some external in the other hand, external leakage also occurring. Okay, and that is always serious situation or serious matter. And for external leakage, no, the principal cause of this external leakage is the improper filtration. Okay, once again I am repeating, the principal cause for external leakage is improper installment or sealing failure or sealing failure. If your whatever the seals are used in your system, okay, that should be proper. Okay, that should be installed very properly. If it will fail, that means leakage will occur. And in hydraulics, leakage is a very big problem. Getting it? So that problem is very serious, and we have to take care about that problem. And once again, I'm repeating the principal cause of the external leakage is that our improper installment of that system or the installment of the your seals, and the another is the failure of the seals. Okay, so in this point about this hydraulic seals, we are going to discuss about the various types of seals. Okay, then what are the different sealing methods which are used in the hydraulics, that also we are going to see. Getting it? So I think you got the point about the seals, just why we need to use the seals. Okay, what is the importance of seals? Okay, now let us discuss the types of the seals. Okay, so once again I will just quickly revise what is the hydraulic seals. Okay, for that purpose only I have written on this slide, that is what is hydraulic seals. So a hydraulic seal is a relatively soft non-metallic ring which is again it is captured in a groove, or it is mounted in a groove, or it is fixed in a combination of rings. Okay, and forming a seal assembly. Okay, for our purpose we are providing or we are implementing the hydraulic seal because to block the separation of that separate fluid in a reciprocating motion of application. Okay, that means to avoid that leakage. Getting it? So its a use is a critical in providing a way for fluid power to be converted into the linear motion. Okay, so it's a this seal is a seals is a very important. Now let us come to the our main point, that is the types of the seals. Okay, so these seals are classified on the basis of following point. So first, okay, classify these types of the seals. So based on the sealing, it's a classification is that this based on sealing, seals are classified in two groups. One is the positive seals and another is the non-positive seals. Getting it? Now the question is that what is positive seals? Okay, so these positive seals do not allow any leakage. These positive seals do not allow any leakage, whatever soever it may be internal or external leakage. Okay, these positive seals do not allow any leakage. Okay, whatever your internal leakage will be there, or whatever your external leakage. Okay, no, that positive cells are not allowing any leakage. Okay, so based on sealing, this is the first type. In the other hand, non-positive cells. Okay, so whereas this non-positive seal, they permit a small amount of internal leakage. See, you can't that about the non-positive, you can avoid, you can stop the external leakage, but non-positive seals in some cases some amount of internal leakage it may permit. Okay, so it permits internal leakage, but in small amount. Okay, this was the first type of the seals getting based on the sealing. Another is that based on the application. Okay, again based on the application, the seals are classified into the two subgroup. One is the static seals and second is the dynamic seals. Getting it? Whether my voice is audible at your end, all of you just uh, just give me confirmation message in the chat box whether my screen is visible at your end, whether my video is visible at your end and my audio is audible at your end. Just tell me yes no in the chat box so that I can go or I can move further. Okay, that classification, all of you. Okay, so I was talking about the types of the seals. Getting it? So based on sealing that we have seen the positive seals and the non-positive seals. Now let us move forward the second one, that is based on the application. One is the static seals and another is the dynamic seal. So in the static seals, this static seal based on application, that means depending on application we have to choose the whether we need to use the static or we need to use the dynamic, that we have to choose. So this first one, static seals. So the static seals are used to seal two matting part. Okay, that means there will not, or it may, it is not allowed for any relative motion between your part. Okay, no relative motion matting part. So for that application, you can use static seals. Okay, once again I will repeat. Static seals are used to seal. Okay, static seals are used to seal two matting parts, okay, that have no relative motion between them. Okay, in between two static, in between two matting parts, there should not have any relative motion. For that, and to seal that two matting parts, you can use static seals. Getting it? Whereas, okay, in other hand, whereas dynamic seals are assembled between the matting part. Dynamic seals are assembled between two matting parts that move relative to each other. Okay, that move relative to each other. Okay, so for that application, you can use the dynamic seal. Okay, hence these dynamic seals are subjected to wear because in matting parts as in assembled that between that two matting parts which are related to each other, in between that we are assembling the dynamic seals. So due to that only these dynamic seals are subjected to the wear. Getting it? Now let us go for the another type of the seals, that is based on the shape. Okay, now based on the shape we will discuss the seals. There are different shapes. Okay, and based on that it's a classification it is made. So first is the o-rings seals are there, then cord seals is there, v packing seals, then u packing seals, packing is there, then composite seals are there. Okay, so these seals include, once again I am repeating, o-rings, cord rings seals, then v packing, then cup packing, then we have the u packing, and the last one is the composite seals. Getting it? So some of important type of the seals we'll discuss here. Okay, with their schematic diagram construction we'll see, because in respect of their construction and application we have to discuss about this. Okay, based on the shape we will discuss. Okay, so you can see on the screen. Okay, just take 1 minute, just have a look. Okay, so on the screen I have shown the different types of our seals. Okay, depending on the shape, we have the O-ring seal, then U ring seal, V ring seal is there, U cup shaped is there. Then in the V ring adapter we have the male and female part. Okay, so first we'll discuss this O-ring. Okay, you can just see O-ring means what, as we have seen that in the different, okay, rubber seals. Okay, O-ring. Okay, you can see cut section. It is like our circle O shape. Okay, this one. So due to that only it is named as a O-ring. Okay, O-ring. Okay. Now, what are the different metals which are used for the sealing? No, that we will discuss later. But here we are seeing the just types. So ring. Okay. Then you can see. Okay, the shape. If you cut that ring seals, then you will get the cross section like this. You can see U. Okay. Then same way V shape you will get. Okay, you can see. Then you can see the cup shape, U shape. Okay, this type of seals we have seen in many applications. Okay, in a hydraulic or in our bicycle or in other in domestic application equipment also. Okay, U shape you can see just U shape cup. Okay, and V ring. Okay, again in that V ring, what are the I have shown this one now? It is a female part. That means inside you will get this V shape. Okay, if the shape, if you will get outside, that means that is a male part. You can see male part. Okay, so these are the different shapes of the seal. Now let us discuss the one by one. Now before going to that, you can see where seals are positioned in the different actuator. Okay, you can see single acting U seal, it is here. Then bumper seal is your where rings are used, where strips are there, double acting pistons seals are there. Okay, these are the seals. Okay, we have observed in many applications. Now I was talking about the O-ring. Okay, see whatever I have shown the O, no. Okay, if we cut our cylinder, okay, if you cut our cylinder, no, you can see it's a diagram. Okay, this D. Okay, if you cut our just that ring seal, then you will get the diameter that D. Okay, and a ring internal diameter Di, and it's that ring seal is O ring seal outer diameter Do. Okay, and it is positioned here. You can see this black spot. Okay, actually this is cut section of our actuator or cylinder. Okay, so that is cut section, and through this diagram we will get that where these O-rings are used. Okay, so this O-rings is a probably the most used static load, a static seal. Okay, O-ring is the probably the most used static seal, and O-rings are made of molded synthetic rubber. Okay, the material of which are used for this O-ring seal, no, so it's made of molded synthetic rubber and specified by Di, that means the internal diameter, Do means outer diameter, and this cross section diameter D. Okay, so these O-rings give a very effective sealing effect at a very high pressure. Okay, so O-rings are usually mold, okay, from your rubber synthetic rubber component. Okay, getting it? These are O-ring seals. Then I will show the another one, cord ring seal. Cord ring seal. You can see it's a diagram. If you cut no this ring, this circle is the top view of the ring, that seal. And if you cut that, there is a cross section. You will get like this cross section. You can check cord ring seal. Okay, it is located or positioned in the hydraulic tube or in the cylinder tube and cylinder end. You can see here this black spot. Okay, here also in the static application, you'll that cord, ring, seal, it is used here. In dynamic application, it is used here. Okay, depending on the cross section only, it is classified. No, so this is actually this cord, ring, seal, it is modified by the your square type cross section. Okay, which is made up from the homogeneous synthetic rubber. Okay, homogeneous synthetic rubber, and this cord link is a quite versatile, and it can be used for static application as well as in the rotary or the reciprocating application. That means dynamic application. Okay, so it is I have shown in this slide. Getting it? Let us discuss another one, that is a V packing. Okay, V packing. If you cut no, that you can see here V. If you cut no that ring, okay, of the V ring seal, then it's a cross section of that seal. You will get like this V shaped. Okay, you can see here also V you will get. Due to that only V ring seal it is named. Okay, here, and this V packing you can see male adapter. That means inside you will get the V packing shape like that. Male adapter and female, you can check once again here. Okay, V ring. This is a female adapter. Okay, if you cut that seal, then you will get shape V shape. Okay, like this. And you are a female, and male it will be like that. So same way I have shown here. This is a female, sorry, male part. Okay, outside you will get that shape, and this is a female part where the shape V ring or V shape you will get inside. Okay, and this type of the V ring, V packing, it is used in the dynamic seal dynamic seal. Okay, between this piston and cylinder, you can see the piston, and in between that piston cylinder. Okay, so this fabricated V-ring, okay, packing, V-ring packing, it is named V-ring seals also you can call, or V-ring packing. So that are capable of holding almost all pressure. Okay, okay. These V-ring packings are capable to hold all pressure. Okay, and V-ring is the part of the packing set that does the sealing, okay, or packing. Okay, and it has a cross section as we have seen that, like letter V. Okay, and to achieve the seal, this V ring must be installed as a part of your packing set or a stack. Okay, which include the one you can see it's the packing. It should include one male adapter, then one female, and several V rings are used. Okay, this is a male adapter, this is a female adapter, and in between that V packings are used. So that is a combined sealing. Okay, V ring packing it is called. Okay, V ring sealing. Getting it? And that male part or male adapter, it is the first ring on the your pressure end of the packing stack, and that is a black. Okay, which is on the one side, and that is a A-shaped on the other hand, on the other side. Okay, and this is you can see this is the last female adapter is the last ring on this your stacking. Actually, this is a stack you can call. This is a V packing. Okay, one first we have seen the O ring, seal, then cord, ring, seal. This is a V packing.
Getting it? Then let us discuss the U packing. Okay, so this fabricated U packing is also used in various dynamic sealing solution. Okay, here this we also it is used for the dynamic seal, and U packing also it is used in various dynamic sealing application or solution. Okay, and this you can see the shape of the packing. If you cut that packing or that seal, then it's a cross section. You will get the like a U. Getting it? This U. And when it is installed or pushed in the cylinder, that system, no, then you could take cut section, then it will look like this. You can see we have the support ring and this U packing. Okay, this is your shaft. Okay, it may be, I think this image of the hydraulic cylinder. Okay, so once again I am repeating, this fabricated U packing is also used in various dynamic sealing solutions, and U packing is always used with your support ring. Okay, as I have shown in this figure. And U packings are usually made up of the leather material, leather or fabric reinforced rubber, leather material or fabric reinforced rubber. And these U packings are balanced packing normally. Okay, balanced packing. Okay, it seals on both your inner diameter as well as this outer diameter. Okay, and also these U packings are applied individually, not in the stack like your this V packing. Okay, U packing you can apply individually. Okay, getting it? So this is about the U packing. Now let us go for the another one, that is our cup packing. Cup packing. You can see the image cup packing. Here I have shown nice one. This U cup. Okay. If you take the cut section from this front side, no, then you will come to know that you will get the shape like this. Okay. This is your shaft. Okay, this will open, but this height means what? This portion. Okay, and you will get the U, that is the cup. Okay, so due to that only it is known it is named as a cup packing. Okay, this cup packing reassemble a cup or a dip dish. Okay, it is looks like a dish. Okay, with a hole in the center. Okay, and that hole it is used for mounting of that piston. Okay, and these cup seals are used exclusively to seal pistons in both a pneumatic application and in a hydraulic application. But the pressure should be low, and for the both conditions, low pressure hydraulic system or high pressure hydraulic application. In both cases, this U packing this cup shaped cup seals are used. Okay, and they are produced from the material like this leather, homogeneous synthetic rubber, then fabric reinforced synthetic rubber. Okay, and also this cup packing that lip flare outside. Okay, because that like that, like this shape. Okay, so the rubber contact is made at the lip. Okay, only when the fluid pressure is low. Okay, getting it? So this is a cup packing. Now let us discuss the last one, that is a composite seal. So these types of the seals are composite seals. These types of the seals are its name is a composite. That means that it is a combination of various types and these composites are available in the form of sets. Okay, these composite seals means what? These are the combination of various types of the seals, and that this composite seals are available in the form of sets. Getting it? So they are designed for a special purpose application only. Okay, for the special application only, composite seals are designed and it is used. Getting it? Okay, and why it is used? Because a typical minimum that friction seal set means your composite seal. You can see this is a one application. You can see that here we have the cylinder tube, and this is a moving part. So here composite seal are used. Okay, and in that composite seal, actually the rubber ring is there, then plastic ring is there. Okay, all rings are connected to each other. That is a combined. Okay, so due to that only its name is the composite seal. It is a combination of the various types of the seals. Okay, and they are actually designed for special application only. Okay, application means what? The typical minimum friction seal set. Okay, so that are used for cylinder. Okay, which I have shown in the diagram. That is a cylinder. Okay, and normally this composite seals, it consists of 5 rings. Okay, one central rubber ring and other 4 adjacent plastic rings. Okay, one central rubber ring is
Okay, so I was discussing about this composite seal. Okay, so in the composite seal, no, it is used in the cylinder. Okay, and its application I have shown in this diagram. Rubber ring, or it is located centrally, and surrounded to this around this rubber ring, 4 plastic rings are used. You can see this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 plastic rings. Getting it? 1 central rubber ring and 4 adjacent plastic rings. And this complete set, when assembled together, no, that time this composite seal will act as a single dynamic seal. Getting it? So these are the different types of the seals which are used for various application, like static application or the dynamic application, or static seal or dynamic seal. Getting it? So this is the types of the seal. Now let us move for next one, that is a sealing metal. Now before going to this sealing metal, let me just know that let me know that whether you understood or not. Okay, in the chat box say yes or no. Please reply in the chat box. May I proceed further? I will take name Balaji Pise, Abhijit Kukade, Saurabh Shende, Rutuja, Shivane Diksha, then Ajit is there, Sachin Sutar, Gaurav Karande. Okay, tell me in the chat box. Rushikesh Deshmukh, Gaurav, Gaitidap. Okay, again Gaurav Karande is there. Avinash Zadav. Understood or not? Just tell me in the chat box. Say yes or no. Please reply. Please reply. Shivani, Saurabh, Nikita Power is there. Yes. Okay. Let us go for the another next point, that is a sealing material. So there are, as we know that many different, we have different applications, okay, where hydraulic or pneumatic systems are used, or hydraulic systems are used. So for different application, different metals have been used, okay, in the development of these sealing devices. Different metals are used for different sealing seals, okay, because different seals are used in different application. That means for different seals, different materials are used. Depending on the development of the sealing devices, different materials are introduced. Okay, and the material which are used for the particular application depend on the several factors. Okay, so while choosing the material for the seals, also there are some factors that we need to consider into the account. So which are the several factors? Like fluid compatibility, then resistance to heat, then pressure, then wear resistance, then hardness, and the type of the motion. So depend on that all factor, you have to choose a sealing material for that particular application. Once again, I will repeat, the material used for a particular application, that depends on the resistance, hardness, fluid compatibility, resistance to heat, pressure, wear resistance, and the most important type of the motion, which type of motion you will want. Okay, so the selection of the correct packing and the gasket and their proper installment are very important factors in this maintaining efficient fluid power system. To maintain the fluid power efficient fluid power system, proper installment and correct selection of the packing and gasket, that is very important factor. Okay, so the types of the seals to be used in a particular piece of equipment or that element are normally, it is specified the equipment that specified normally by the that manufacturer, getting it. So in many application, the leather different metals are used for the sealing. So among that, first material which is used for the sealing, no, that is a leather seals. Okay, as we know that this leather material is a tough, then it is a reliable. Okay, again it is resistant to the abrasion, then wear, then trace and temperature effect. Okay, so as we know that leather is a closing night material that is generally tough, uh, labile, and relatively resistant to abrasion. Okay, the wear, trace, and the effect of the temperature changes. Okay, so because again it's a porous, because it is this leather, it is a porous material, it is able to absorb lubricating fluid. Okay, so this due to that different aspect, leather material also used for the sleep, getting it. As this leather material has some certain basic limitations. Okay, that means the size of the typical limit, or the size of the seals that can be made from the leather. Okay, so due to that, again it is it does not sustain with under or with or under heavy mechanical pressure. Okay, because it stands to the, it stand to the exclude. Okay, when we apply the heavy load, okay, or heavy mechanical pressure. So due to that only, we should have another material, that is a rubber. Okay, so the second material is the rubber. So this term rubber or the synthetic rubber, it covers many natural and synthetic rubber. Okay, rubber, why it is used? Because it is a poor resistant to the petroleum fluid, and it's a rapid aging when it is exposed to oxygen or the ozone. Okay, due to that only, rubber it is selected as a sealing material. Okay, in that other you can use the natural rubber. Okay, because it's have many characteristics which are required in the effective sealing. Okay, Then we have the plastic. Now in that plastic, fluoroplastic is there, then fluoro elastomer is there. Okay, that type of the plastic, fluoroplastic and fluoroelastomer. That also it is used for the sealing material because high heat resistance is there. That property is there, high heat resistance. Then it is compatible with the compatible with the fluid. Okay, so several sealing materials have been developed by synthesizing the this fluorine, okay, with the elastomer or your plastic. Synthesizing is a procedure. Okay, so synthesizing fluorine with the elastomer or with the plastic, different plastic materials are produced, and that plastic is used as a sealing material. Okay, and which are that material that we should know? Then kelp F. Kelp F is a one material. Okay, plastic material. Then Viton A is there. Teflon material is there. Then polyurethane. Then polycrystalate. Okay, sorry, polycrylate. Then polysulfide. Okay, so all these, whatever I have name taken, so all these sealing materials have exceptionally high heat resistance and are compatible with the most fluids. Okay, due to that property only the plastics are used. And the last and very important sealing material is the metal. Okay, so one of the most common metal seals used in the hydraulic equipment. Okay, one of the most common seal material used in the hydraulic system is the metal. So due to that only this metal seals are used in the hydraulic equipment. And the metal is a copper. Okay, so copper is a metal which is commonly used for the sealing material. Okay, so in that again, flat copper rings are the sometimes are used. Sometimes it is used as a gasket, as we know that under adjusting the screws to provide the fluid seal. Okay, then molded copper rings are there that are also sometimes used as a packing. Okay, with the speed gear pumps which are operating under the high pressure. Okay, either type type is easily bent and or other. Okay, why it is used? Because it is easy or it requires that careful handling also. The molded copper rings are used. Okay, one is a flat copper and another is a molded copper ring. Okay, and in addition to that, copper becomes hard when it is used over the a long period, and when it is subjected to the compression. Due to that only also it is used. Okay, and whenever a unit or the component is deassembled, no, that time copper sealing rings should be replaced in that your system. That care we have to take, because uh, again the point here we should take into consideration that is a metallic piston rings. Okay, that are also used as a plastic packing. Okay, metallic piston rings that are sealing actually packings. Okay, and which are used as a packing in the some fluid power actuator cylinder. Okay, so these rings are similar in design to the piston rings in automobile rings. We have seen in automobile engine. Okay, piston rings are there. So like that here also in hydraulic rings are used, piston rings, but metal piston rings. Okay, but it will act as a packing. Okay, now let us go for the another point, that is the last point, that is factor affecting while selecting the correct or proper seals. No, which are the factors that affect the while which are factor which we should consider or we should take into account while selecting the seals. Okay, so first factor which we should take into the consideration while selecting is the pressure. So pressure is the first factor. So this is the most predominant factor that decide type of the seal and its material because
अबे नोट पीपीटी कहीं चूते पे पीपीटी करे है
hello, what happened? Any problem is there? Please tell me whether my voice is there, whether my voice is audible.
हेलो सर
Yes,
सर पीपीटी नीट दिसत नाही ते अक्षर दिसत नाहीत नीट
दिसत नाहीत का?
थोडं ब्लर दिसते
ओके ओके, हे करू का म्हणजे आपले झूम करू द्या का पीपीटी?
नाही सर म्हणजे अक्षरच ब्लर दिसतात म्हणजे ते जरा खोडल्यासारखे
अच्छा, माझ्या मोबाईलवर क्लिअर दिसते. एक मिनिट बघू, आता फुल करून बघतो. एक मिनिट, आता
हा दिसते सर आता
ओके ना? ओके ओके, थँक्यू. आज सांगत जावा मला दिसते का नाही, कारण की कसं आहे माझ्यापाशी नेटचा प्रॉब्लेम नाही त्यामुळे मला क्लिअर दिसतंय, पण तुमच्या तिथं कधी कधी होऊन जाते तसं. पण आता दिसतंय का व्यवस्थित? हॅलो,
हो सर हो हो
सगळ्यांना दिसतंय ना? जस्ट टेल मी और जस्ट टू गिव्ह मी कन्फर्मेशन in chat box, say yes or no whether my ppt, my screen is properly visible at your end.
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay, so I was talking about the different factors which we need to take into the consideration while selecting the proper or correct ceiling. Okay, and the first factor is the or first parameter is the pressure, because this pressure is the most predominant factor, okay, which that decide the type of seal and its material. Okay, that decide the type of seal which we have to choose or which material we should use, because higher pressures will leads to the more force. Getting it? More force means a thrust per unit area on your that higher thrust on your seal. Okay, hence due to that only more friction or more heat or the wear of the seal may occur. Due to that only pressure is the predominant factor that we should take into the consideration while selecting the our sealing. Okay, and for this reason only in high pressure applications, mostly, as I have told that in for high pressure application, mostly V-ring type seals are used. V-ring shapes, V-ring shape or V-ring seal it is used. Okay, or high pressure application. Okay, and depend on that your lower pressure situation or the higher pressure situation, you have to choose the type of the seal. Getting it? Then another factor is the temperature. Okay, so this temperature, again this temperature range decide the sealing material. Okay, to be the which material we should use for or at hot temperature. Okay, that decide this temperature. So that means if temperature is below 65 degrees Celsius, then leather material you can choose. And if temperature is up to 260 degrees Celsius, that time you can choose plastic material as a sealing. Okay, so this temperature is also important factor while selecting the your seal. Okay, another here I have the below 65 you can use the neoprene material also. Again, minus 50 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius you can use Buna N material. Buna, okay, BUNA and N capital, Buna N. Okay, that material you can use for the temperature range minus 50 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. Then silicon material is there. That silicon material you can use for the temperature range minus 100 degrees Celsius to 250 degrees Celsius. And if your temperature is up to 260 degrees Celsius, that time you can use the plastic material. Getting it? So this is the second parameter. And the last parameter that we should consider while selecting the sealing, that is the operational speed. Operational speed. So this factor should be considered since it has effect on the life of your seal. Okay. this operational speed. Why we need to consider? Because this factor we should consider because it affect the if it affect on the life of the seal. Okay, that means the higher operational speed, then it leads to the shorter seal life. Okay, once again I am repeating, higher operational speed, that means it leads to the shorter the seal life. Okay, so due to that only this operational speed is an important factor. Okay, and in addition to this above, what are the factors? Pressure, temperature, and operation speed. No, other some factors are there that also we have to consider. Now the question arises that which are that factors we should consider while selecting the sealing material of the seal. So the factor like the compatibility with the hydraulic oil, then that metal clearance, then alignment, then metal finish, then type of motion. That means whether the motion is a reciprocating, that is a linear, or the motion is a rotary. Then contamination into the oil, depend that also we should select the seal. And the last is the life expected. Okay, up to what period of time we need to use that sealing. Based on that also we should choose the proper sealing. Okay, getting it? So this is about the sealing. So here our first chapter is completed. Okay, now let me in a suggestion, let me in a question is there from your side, or may I go for next chapter, next point? I think okay. Time is 4:32. Okay, I will start our next chapter in the next lecture only. No problem. But whether you understood first chapter, just tell me in the chat box. Do you understood first chapter? What are the points I have covered? Okay, start from the history and the basic everything. Understood or not? In the chat box, please tell me. Please give me reply. Yes, no, so that I will come to know that you are I am at you are at a wrong path. Please tell me yes, no. Say just yes, no, yes, no. Okay. Abhijit, Mujamin Mulani, Saurabh, Rutuja, Gaurav, Shubham Gandure is there, Ajit, Sachin is there. Okay. Okay. In the next lecture, that means I think we'll take one more lecture tomorrow. That time we'll start our second chapter. That means the second chapter means what? This two chapter, first and second chapter, both are connected to each other, because in hydraulic system, various elements are there, various components are there. Among that, first component, that is actuator, we have discussed in the first chapter. Now, what are the remaining elements are there? That means the your pump, intensifier, accumulator, and valves. That elements we are going to see in the chapter number 2. Getting it? Okay. So I request you all, please write on your roll number in the chat box. Okay. Thank you very much. After writing your roll number in the chat box, you can leave this meeting. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Be fast. Please write down your roll number. Remaining students, please write down your roll number. Remaining students, Ajit, Bhupendra, I think you are written, no problem. Thank you.